Hello you guys, this is Ashley with the Patreon exclusive for this Leo new moon. What's going on? I also have part of this reading is a little message that I will append to this message. So I wanted to pull a couple additional cards. We have higher wisdom. We also have the 𝚗𝚗𝚗𝚗𝚗, protection. We have the rekindling, the repurposing, I hear. And we have abundance. I'm going to pull a chakra oracle card, faith. So, you know, what I feel like is going on, in order to have faith, you have to have vision, hope, support, miracles, spirituality, okay? And you have to have a firm foundation of a spiritual practice. So spiritual practice will be feeding your soul. If you have a certain regimen of eating, regardless if you eat, you may hear the vehicle in the background. If you eat, most people eat like 3 times a day. But for example, if you eat 3 times a day, once a day, it doesn't matter. But you eat every day. The same thing goes for your spiritual life. It feels like someone is spiritually malnourished, okay? And with that malnourishment, it's like the parasites can come in and attack you. Imagine if you're not being taken care of nutritionally, physically. What happens? Parasites can come in and they start to feed on your energy. It's the same thing physically, it's the same thing mentally, and it's the same thing spiritually. So with this abundance, with this fortune, the Spirit is talking about stuff yourself full every second of the day as possible with some form of spiritual substance. If you're listening to a podcast, if you're listening to a lecture, if you're reading something, you need to be filling your spiritual self full, busting wide open with that higher wisdom and knowledge. We have here, once again, like this feels like seeds being sprouted, being planted and growing. We have 3 roses. We're talking about the Trinity with the number 3 and roses. The roses, I did a small like little reading about Beauty and the Beast and roses. It was actually a channeled message, and how the roses are, I look at the timer, it says 222, okay? The roses deal with not just a burial, but this deals with passion, and the number 3. And we're talking about stability and passion, but through the spiritual gateways. So we are in the Leo new moon. Leo deals with strength, deals with passion, deals with the heart. I hear the heart escape. And so in order to move to the next part of your spiritual evolution, you have to go through the portal of the heart and through the mental, through the mind, and planting those seeds that you have planted. They will grow through faith, and your faith, aka the way how you think about things and the way how you water your plant, your faith. And that's the way how you act things out in your day in and day out life. I feel like I should be taking this out. This actually is 3 women. This could be 3 stages of women. It could be 3 different women, or it could be 3 stages of the woman, like the 3 initiation processes. We have here the ego death, we have here the planting, and then we have here the harvest. So once again, this feels like the divine feminine paired with these Feminine Friday readings of a divine feminine that is on fire. She is in the 2nd phase of her spiritual evolution, and she's going to the next phase. She has planted seeds and she's about to go into harvest. Okay, I'll pick another card. This came out a couple times with this judgment. And for those that are lingering in between these 2, the 1st and 2nd stage, once you break down human judgment, once you break down this judgment of yourself and take on the divine judgment of things, the higher wisdom, but I also want to say the eagle eye, the eye of Horus, okay, the eye of protection, which is different from the evil eye. Actually, if you see this bracelet I have here, it has the evil eye. And in Judaism, that one thing about the evil eye is like for those that may try to put a curse on you, or may try to throw shade at you, or harmful type of energy. Like I was saying, those parasitic energies, those parasites, especially through this echo I hear of time, through this portal of spiritual evolution that is happening, you're going to have that building up, okay? And they're going to try to steal your energy, but you have to put that eye of Horus on there. You got to put that protective eye on them and on you and on your things that you have faith about, the things that you are growing. You can't just share all of that with everybody, and probably not even with anybody. Sometimes you got to be really solo, you got to be really secluded and off to yourself. That is fine. Actually, I've run across several different videos about why don't I have friends, why am I alone? Because you're doing the spiritual evolution alone. You're doing it alone. You have to do it for yourself, but you're technically not completely alone because you are interconnected with one another. However, you do have to do a lot of work on your own. You do have sisters and brothers that are sending you love and light in the highest level of frequency that they know how to. But the less that you are attached physically to individuals, the more that you have spiritual control and mental control of yourself, which is self-mastery, but the more that, and the less that you have individuals that are attached to your energy. Because even though you're interconnected with everyone, you still have self-responsibility and self-awakening to do in your own spiritual evolution. Okay? I'm going to pick one last card. A baby. Oh, and then a visitation. Okay? And also, too, with that, it was actually, oh, well, no, it wasn't that. Well, anyways, it was a card that popped up that said desire. So someone could be desiring their divine partner to reach out to them. They could have a child together, or this person could be desiring the merriment, the communication, the love, and the baby, the whole family, and everything like that. You have to continue to have faith. The Spirit, you see the cards, the Spirit is saying, you know, have faith. You have to be conditioned and prepared. Like a bride and the groom, they go through a courtship, okay, in which they are preparing themselves with counseling. They're preparing, well, they should be, at least back in the day they used to, with meeting each other's family and, you know, getting to know each other on a different level, on a higher, deeper level, and all of that, to prepare themselves for the holy matrimony, the covenant, which is different from a contract. Okay, we're talking about spiritual union. We're talking about spiritual contracts being signed, sealed, and delivered. Okay, all right, fulfillment of the soul contract. But you have to be physically prepared for it. Many of us have to burn a lot of karma. We have to burn a lot of old contracts and connections and all that stuff like that before we can be prepared as a bride, as a groom for the matrimony. Okay, so check out the Bible studies, all of the other stuff like that. I appreciate your continued support. This is part 2 to the Bible study. I will link part 1 inside of this post. We have here thought. Think about what you're thinking about. Your thoughts, you know, the way how you process information. Always question yourself. Always question, why did I make that decision? You know, some things, I find that I drop things sometimes, and I've asked myself, why do I drop it? You know, what was I thinking when I dropped it? Sometimes that's a cue for me to pay attention to what I was thinking about. You know, just always strive for the next step you, the next level you. Because in that next level you, although you are still good enough now, you are going to be even better in the next level you. Okay, and I'm talking about spiritually and mentally. I'm not talking about, you know, financially, although we do have that on the board. You know, that is coming. And as you continue to align and ascend, that will come, okay? And I'm talking to myself too, okay? So you guys, I love you much. You can pair this with your weekly Patreon reading. Actually, this will take place of the weekly Patreon reading because I just realized the Sunday came and passed so quickly. You can also pair this with your personal monthly reading for those that are on the flame tier and above. All right, love you guys much. If you want additional personal services, they'll be listed down below, as well as these cards will be listed down below. All right, peace.